Hey everyone, it's Hannah and today I'm doing a bit of a different video. We're in my old work t-shirt because I'm dyeing yarn today, but not just dyeing any old yarn. AI is going to tell me what to do. A huge thank you to Skillshare for sponsoring today's video. I've just finished a stint of dyeing up the daily advents and I'm currently working on a new collection. I've still got weekly advents to go, but I wanted to do some fun dyeing so I don't get super burnt out. Problem is I'm having trouble just thinking up ideas and just wanted to try something a bit different. And then I remembered that a while ago I saw Kristen of Voolvenvine post on Instagram that she used AI to dye yarn. So I thought, hey, that's fun. Now I'm a millennial and therefore I am quite au fait with technology, but sometimes there are some things I'm willing to admit that I don't fully understand. AI is one of them. I didn't really know what I needed to type in and what I needed to do. So yesterday I took a Skillshare class. A huge thank you to Skillshare for sponsoring this video. If you weren't aware, Skillshare is an online learning community with thousands of classes on offer, each of these led by experts in their field. And these classes are aimed at us who have those creative endeavours, the drive to learn something new and exciting. I've been using Skillshare for quite a long time now and I found it very helpful. It's taught me a lot of new skills and techniques that I can apply to my creative business, like time management, beating creative blocks, and also help with social media, which is ever changing. In fact, there are so many classes on offer. You can learn things from illustration to photography, video editing, knitting and crochet, macrame, beading, all sorts of different techniques, all the way to help with productivity, web development, entrepreneurship, social media, like I've already said. So many classes that span a whole range of creativity. Ugh, we love to see it. There are classes available from beginner to pro and they take you exactly to where you want to go. And there's a supportive community alongside to help you get there. If you just want to improve on a skill that you already have, you can filter the class by difficulty so you're not relearning something you already know. So this is me the day before the actual dyeing of yarn. And I've just finished the Make AI Work For You class. And whilst it does focus on illustrators and illustrating things, it was also quite useful for me. I'm going to pick and choose and tweak things to make it work with yarn dyeing as opposed to illustrating. And yeah, I'm excited. Smitesh did share some prompts that you can use with ChatGPT. So that is what I'm going to be doing down the dye shed on my phone when I'm ready to dye yarn. And yeah, I'm so excited to see what colours we come up with. After being bombarded and focused so much on advents, I'm really looking forward to doing something a little bit different to what I usually do. So if you want to unlock your creativity and learn a new skill or technique, Skillshare is generously offering the first 1,000 people who use the link in the description box or in the top pinned comment a 1-month free trial of Skillshare. What are you waiting for? A huge thank you to Skillshare for sponsoring this video and a huge thank you to you for supporting the sponsors, and it keeps them coming back my way. I truly do appreciate it. So yeah, I feel so much happier now with what to type into ChatGPT to get the best results. So yeah, let's see what Colourways AI comes up with, and if they're good ones, they're getting written down. First things first, before I do, I'm now in my dye shed in case you didn't know. All of yarn. First things first, I need to get some yarn in to soak so it can absorb the dye. Otherwise, you don't want to apply wet onto dry yarn. It doesn't go well. So whilst I'm waiting for that to soak, I am going to type my prompt into ChatGPT, get some dye out and see what we're working with. Obviously I'm human, so I'm going to be applying some human knowledge to the application of the dye. I'm not going in completely blind, but I'm going to say, give me 3 colours that coordinate to be used on yarn. We'll see how that goes. Oh, fun. Right. Okay, interesting. So what it's done is it's given me 3 different ones and I can pick one to choose from. So what vibe am I going for? Teal, coral and cream, navy blue, mustard and grey, or lavender, sage green and dusty rose. I might go for navy blue, mustard yellow and grey. So give me one more colour to go with option 2 and see what happens. Certainly to go with colour option number 2, navy blue, mustard yellow and grey, you could add a coordinating colour like burgundy. So I think that's what we're going to go with for skein number 1, going with navy blue, mustard yellow, grey and burgundy. This is very much out of my usual comfort zone, but we shall do what we can accordingly. Oh, this is exciting. So the dyes I have picked out, I've picked out more than I'll use, I'll be honest. We have Colourcraft Mustard, standard. We have Colourcraft Deep Navy, delightful. We've got Colourcraft Charcoal. We'll see. For the burgundy, I don't actually have a burgundy, so we're going with Dharma Cabernet, which is kind of like a burgundy but a little more red. And then I've also picked out Smoke, Night and Sandstone of landscape dyes because they're quite good for speckling. I think Sandstone's a little too yellow, but I'm hoping that hopefully it won't go so green, but there definitely will be some green in this. But oh, how exciting. I think I'm going to try like 2 colourways and see how we go from there, and then if I want a third I'll go for a third. And yeah. So this is how I dye my yarn. I use 2 double induction burners with sort of gastronorm trays, the trays that they use in like professional kitchens and stuff. And I just lay the yarn in. I usually do 4 to a pan. It's what works for me. And yeah, you need to sprinkle some citric acid on that, otherwise the dye doesn't stick, because to dye yarn you need acid, heat, water. I mix the dye with water, it's lovely. The theory with starting with the grey and doing a big zigzag like that was to try and keep the mustard and the navy blue separate so they wouldn't make green. So you will see that I do the navy blue on the bottom and on the top of that zigzag, and I'm really pressing my fingers in there to get that dye very saturated, which is kind of what you want to do anyway. But this front tray is merino sock. It can be very difficult to get it fully saturated, but you know, I try. And so yes, I then forgot to hit record, but the mustard yellow I did in those 2 little triangles, and the charcoal just managed to keep it separate. I put the heat on after I added the navy blue and the charcoal to give that a chance to set before I added the mustard. And it seemed to work quite well. So we're going in now with navy blue speckles. You notice I'm keeping the navy blue speckles predominantly off of the yellow. I mean, a few did. And you know what? It didn't go green. So that just shows me. And then I go to town with my charcoal grey speckles. What you will notice with all of these colourways is that I really love speckles. All of my colourways overall, if you know me at all, I love a speckle. So I decided to add a few dark red speckles, but I didn't do too many of these because I wasn't sure how it would go, and it looks nice. I like it. I don't know if it was necessary for the yarn for the skeins, but it is nice. And yeah, you have to flip the yarn because, as you can see, the back doesn't get a whole lot of dye through to it. The sturdy sock is a bit better because the yarn isn't as plump. The skeins are a bit longer, so it's less yarn all bunched up. But I decided to take this as the opportunity of burgundy time. You know, have a glass of wine. No, I jest. And I just pour the Cabernet in a zigzag across the back. Try to get it, you know, relatively even. I wasn't sure how these dyes would mix together. I wasn't sure if it would be a disaster, and I'm pleasantly surprised. I didn't use too many mustard speckles because I had a fear of green and orange intruding when I didn't want it. So I decided to go to town with the navy and the charcoal grey instead. And yeah, I could have done a few more mustard yellow speckles, I think, but time to pop the lid on, let them cook, let them set, and then when it's all exhausted, we rinse. Okay, so that yarn is dyed. I'm going to let it cool down for a bit before I rinse it off. So what I thought would be fun is if we then asked AI to name the colourway. Not quite sure how to phrase this. So name a colour, name a yarn colourway, name the yarn colourway, dyed navy, mustard, grey and burgundy. I wasn't sure about the burgundy. I might regret the red speckles I put on one side. Autumn Twilight. You know what? That's a beautiful colourway. That's a beautiful name. Oh, thank you. Okay, so I've decided I'm going to do 3 colourways because I'm having too much fun. Thank you. Right, so that's Autumn Twilight. Dyed up. I'm excited to see how it rinses. Give me 3 more colours. So how did I phrase it? Give me 3 colours that coordinate to be used on. Give me 3 more colours that coordinate to be used on yarn that aren't from option 2. Send. See how that goes. Oh, interesting. It's done it differently this time. So what I could have done, and what I guess I still can do, is go back up to the first suggestion and just go off each of those. So I could do a teal, coral and cream, and then a lavender, sage green and dusty rose. I suppose I could do that, but I could do plum purple, olive green and burnt orange. Give me 1 more colour that coordinates with those. I should have done 4 colours. Complementary colour like gold. Oh, it knows me so well. You know what? ChatGPT giving me the autumn vibes. Giving me the autumn vibes. Okay, let's pick out this colourway. Okay, we're going with a bit of artistic license because I don't really have a strict plum purple. So I'm going with aubergine, and I might mix some red in it to lighten it up a little bit. That's by Dharma. I've got Colourcraft olive green, love this colour. I've got Landscapes Dyes in Mali, also love this colour, that's my burnt orange. And then I have Jacquard in Aztec Gold, which is my go-to gold for speckling, which is why it's in such a large tub. Very autumnal, ChatGPT, very autumnal. Maybe the next colour I will specifically request bright colours, just so it's not so autumnal. But yeah, I'm still excited to try this. Oh, let's see how this one turns out. Okay, so I've just googled plum purple because I wasn't 100% sure on what shade of purple plum purple is, and it's not aubergine at all. I'm going to mix together Cabernet, Dharma Cabernet and Colourcraft purple in equal parts to get plum purple. Oh, I painted my nails yesterday and they're already chipped. Oh, so I decided to just trust AI at this point and went in with an olive green that looks much more chartreuse than it is olive green. I have, truth be told, I've not actually used this dye that much other than for speckling, but I decided to go with stripes, Starter stripes this time instead of the zigzag. I like to mix up how I pour it on. Obviously for each colourway it's the same, and that was an error. I shouldn't have poured out the bottom of that jug because there was a bunch of blue pigment at the bottom of that jug, and look, now there's a spot of dark blue. Anyway, it's fine, it still looks nice, but it wouldn't pass quality control. Yes, so I then went in with the burnt orange that I initially thought was going to be too bright of an orange, but as it cooks, it deepens a little bit and is actually very nice. So that serves me right for questioning myself. And yeah, I just decided to pour them next to each other and see what would happen, see what colour would come out of it. And actually, it didn't blur too much, which I'm amazed by. Put the heat on. I did have to top it up with a bit more water, because if you don't have enough water in the pan, the yarn burns. But yeah, that was me speckling on some burnt orange. Then I went in with gold because it's my go-to. I love me gold speckles. And then yeah, it was flipping yarn time. I mean, I obviously let it sit in heat for a little bit because otherwise all my speckles would turn to mush. But I let it heat for a bit and then I flippity-doo-dah'd. Flippity-yay, my oh my, what a wonderful day. And yeah, that blob of blue is quite frustrating, but these things happen. So then I went in with the plum purple, which is, that's me checking that the camera's recording, Cabernet and purple mixed together in equal parts. Surprise, surprise. This is my DM's wife colourway and is actually the colour that I dyed for the yarn that was used for my husband's tie that I knit him for our wedding day. So more burnt orange speckles. This is actually Landscape Dyes in Dingo. I thought Mali for the speckles would be too deep. Then I went in with the olive green. Like I said before, I love going to town with speckles. They just make me so happy. I just think that they make yarn look so good, and unless I specifically write it down, there's often no rhyme or reason as to where I put them where I do. I just choose to put them wherever. And then I went in with some Cabernet for some speckles as well, just because I thought it needed a bit of depth. I would have gone in with a dark brown on this colourway, I think, but yeah. Lids on, time to cook. And yeah, let's do colourway 3. Okay, that yarn is dyed. The olive green turned out to be more chartreuse than olive, but we're rolling with it because it's what we have. Also, the burnt orange was a little light, but once again, we're rolling with it. So I'm going to say, name the yarn, colourway, dyed, olive green. It's giving me longer things to type now. Burnt orange, plum purple, and gold. Harvest Elegance. Oh my goodness, as I was dyeing that up, I was thinking it's giving me harvest vibes. Okay, last one. I'm getting too warm. It's getting too hot in here. I need to go back in the house where it's a bit cooler. This is warm. Right. One more colourway. I forgot to press record. I'm new to doing this. Just proof that it's called Harvested Elegance. Harvested, not Harvest Elegance. Yeah, I can't go back and redo it because it won't come up with the same result, and I actually really like that name, so that's fine. Right, so I'm going to say, give me 3 colours that coordinate to be used on yarn, and we'll see, is it just going to fully embrace autumn vibes? Deep indigo, ruby red, soft no, I don't like that. No. It's giving me red, white and blue vibes, and I'm not going to go there. Not that I'm not patriotic, I just don't want red, white and blue yarn right now. We'll go with 3 more. Forest green, rust orange, warm brown. We're fully embracing autumn is what ChatGPT is telling me. That's not a phrase that flows off the tongue. Okay, the weather's telling me very different. I was hoping for some more like bright, fun colours, but hey, we're going with forest green, rust orange and warm brown. And actually the orange that I've just used on Harvested Elegance, will be quite a good rust orange. Give me one more colour that coordinates with those. I don't know if it's because I'm continuing in the chat and not starting a new one that it's giving me more dark colours. Cool, it's saying rich gold. I tell you what, I'm going to start a new chat and see if that gives me more bright and coloured ones, because I don't know if it's just going off of the first colours it gave me. Give me 3 colours that coordinate to be used on yarn. And we'll see if it will. Right, so it's given me the same first 3. Okay, right, we're going to go off lavender, mint green and pale pink. Give me one more colour to go with option 3. Buttercream yellow. This will create a lovely pastel colour palette for your yarn project. Yes, it will. Oh, I'm excited. That's more my vibe right now. It's too warm for all these dark autumnal colours. Oh, the colours I'm going for, and I might change the mint green. For lavender, I'm going with Landscapes Dye Sorbet. I've got 2 tubs of it because this one's almost empty. For the buttercream yellow, I'm going with, it says vanilla custard, but it's definitely called vanilla cream by Dharma. Valentine blush for the pale pink, because it's a very pretty pale pink. And then also Landscape Dyes Dusk. They're the colours I'm going for. I'm excited. Oh, and for the mint green, I'm going Salt Marsh. But I've not used this that much. But I have a backup of... Oh, where is it? Here. Colourcraft Jade, used in a very low concentrate. Makes a nice mint green. But I kind of want to give this a go. So I'll mix it up and see what happens. So I did end up using the Salt Marsh for the mint green. It didn't end up being that mintier colour. Maybe I should have gone with Jade in a lighter thing, but sometimes that can go a little bit neon. So I don't regret my decision. It's a really nice colour, but yes. So the buttercream yellow I put at the top and the bottom. Like I said, this is Vanilla Cream by Dharma. It's one of my more used yellows because it's a really pretty yellow colour. Much recommend if you haven't tried it already. So now we're on to the pink. I'm just kind of having fun with the application at this point, which is why I'm trying something a little bit different. And then speckling on this side. Now this dye that I'm speckling, turns out it's a bit more purple than just pink. I thought it was more pink than it was, but doesn't matter because you need lavender in this anyway, so it all worked out fine. And now speckling the mint green, which didn't go that minty. Oh, here I'm just wiggling the yarn around to make sure it doesn't stick to the tray and burn. You don't want burnt yarn, it's the worst, and it would ruin the yarn. So yeah, so yes, mint green speckles, lovely, delightful, love to see it. If you haven't tried landscape dyes, they are a little costly, I'm not gonna lie, but they are really good for speckling. They're already mixed with citric acid, and so they just kind of cling to the yarn beautifully. I don't get paid to sell landscape dyes, but they're really, really nice. They're from Australia, which is why they're a little more costly. But I couldn't do dainty speckles, and then I got that dye, and all of a sudden I can do dainty speckles. It's like it was related. So moving on to the lavender now. I just had a lot of fun with the application of this one in particular. I did like a kind of like a snowflake, and then I put a little bloop at the bottom and the top because I was worried that that yarn didn't get that much purple in comparison to the other two skeins. And then went back in with that, is it Heath? Is that what it's called? Dusk? I can't remember. La la la. And yes, speckled that's the pinky purple colour. Beautiful. Then the buttercream yellow, vanilla cream speckles. Obviously when you speckle it, it's a bit more concentrated, bit more vibrant than if you mix it with water. And then I went in with the Valentine blush to do speckles. Now these are a bit more of a brighter pop than if you were to mix it with water, but also just very pretty. So lids on, time to let them cook, and then I'll rinse them off. So that yarn is just finished. So I'm going to name this colourway now. Name the yarn colour. That is lavender. I always misspell lavender. Comma. Mint green, pale pink, and buttercream yellow. Spring Blossom Delight. Oh, I see. So the three that they suggested, I'm guessing the teal, coral and cream was kind of summery. We've got summer, autumn and spring. So not the most seasonal, but is a very pretty colourway. So I'm just going to leave that there to cool. I've got the other two skeins outside to dry, and then I will be back to round off the video. I'll have them all twisted up so you can see what they look like. The yarn is all dry. Beautiful sunny weather dries yarn very quickly, which is delightful to know. So I've just twisted it up, and I thought that I would share with you what it looks like now. I'm going to do it in the order that I dyed them in. So first up, on my sturdy sock base, which is 75% blue face Leicester, 25% nylon, we have Autumn Twilight. This is a really pretty colourway. It's so nice, isn't it? And I would never ever have dyed this colourway otherwise. The grey isn't super obvious, which I do actually quite like. And yeah, I just think it's so pretty. And now this is on my merino sock base, which does take dye a little bit more. It's a bit more plush and absorbent. So this one's a bit brighter than that one. But this is 85% superwash merino, 15% nylon, and it's super duper soft. But yeah, this is a nice autumnal jumper. Delightful. So pretty. So this is Autumn Twilight. I'll just do one of these so you can compare the two on different bases. Delightful. So next up we have Harvested Elegance. So this is the sturdy sock base again. Now the olive green I haven't used an awful lot, I won't lie. But, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to swear at you just then, I'm just adjusting my glasses. I haven't used the olive green an awful lot apart from to speckle. So I wasn't sure how it would dye up, but it looks a lot more gold than olive green. So that's worth noting for me in the future. But it's still a really beautiful autumnal colour. Really fun. I usually struggle with autumnal tones. They don't come naturally to me. I'm more of like blues, purples, cool tones than warm tones. So I'm kind of glad I did 2 autumnal colours, because it did encourage me to, you know, step out of my comfort zone a little bit, which was one of the points of the exercise, really, was to try something a bit different, because I read the colours when it was suggested and thought, how is this going to work together? And actually, they're really, really fun. This is perfect, because I was struggling to dye colourways for my next collection I'm currently working on, which is kind of autumnal vibes, and this has given me quite a lot of confidence to just go for it and pick some colours and see what happens. So yes. I sadly don't have a sock knitting machine. If I, in another world, in another life, I would have a sock knitting machine, and I would have knit you up a swatch of it so I could show you, but sadly I'm not in that parallel universe, so I cannot do that for you. And we played D&D all night last night, and also I'm not a machine. I cannot physically knit that fast. And then finally we have Spring Blossom Delight, which, I mean, I'm not a huge fan of the name, but AI picked it, so we're rolling with it. In hindsight, I should have gone harder on the mint green. I should have done a bit more mint green. Salt marsh is a really pretty colour, but I don't think it's quite green enough against all of these. But this is a beautiful bouquet of yarn. There we go, that's a bit more accurate to the colour, I think. That sturdy sock, and then we got merino sock with these delicate little speckles. Pastel colours are so hard to show because they get so blown out, but there we go. Absolutely beautiful. I am obsessed with this one. It's giving me very much Selena of Through the Wardrobe Yarn Co vibes. This is her very popular colourway of Dreaming of Candy Unicorn. It's kind of giving those vibes. Unintentionally so, but also absolutely beautiful. So yes, that is the result. That is the fruit of my labour. I 100% will be doing this again. It was so much fun to do. It encouraged me to try different techniques. It encouraged me to put different colours together that I never would have put together. Like this one. I probably would have put this colour together, but it encouraged me to, I don't know, try different things, step out of my comfort zone a little bit, and I love that. I think I will definitely do it again. I think the next time I do it, I might be more specific and say, give me 3 colours inspired by, give me 3 vibrant colours, give me 3 neon colours, you know, it doesn't even have to be 3. But I think I think I'm going to try this again. I will film it for you, obviously. I'll give it a bit of a rest beforehand. But yes, I want to try this again and see what other beautiful colourways that I come up with. If you do like any of this yarn and you want it in your house, I will pop it in the web shop, and yeah, once they're gone, they're gone. If you want them, you're more than welcome to buy them. I didn't write down any of the recipes, but I'm sure I could work out something approximate or something similar. If you did want more of it, let me know. Leave me a comment down below. Which of the 3 was your favourite? I would like to know. Are you more autumn vibes? Are you more spring vibes? Let me know, let me know. And yeah, if you like what you're seeing, you want to see more, I post a video here every week. It would be lovely if you were to subscribe. And I do have Patreon if you would like to subscribe over there. You get a bonus video every week over there. And leave me a comment down below, which is your favourite, what would you make with it if you want to purchase any of it yourself. I'll pop it in the web shop. It's cornerofcraft.co.uk. I ship internationally. And yeah, I think that's everything. A huge thank you once again to Skillshare for sponsoring this video. Don't forget to check out the description box to claim your free trial of Skillshare. And yeah, with all that being said, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for being here and experiencing this with me. So much fun. And I will see you very soon in my next video. Bye.